Good morning, good morning. I am 20 minutes late almost. I had another phone call this morning. Sometimes worlds collide, real life colliding with drawing life. I am back at it with Royale. So, as I usually do, we're going to start and oversharing the fact that I'm live and doing this. Let's see here. I'll pick this one. I'm gonna spread the link to my live stream, and I'm connected. So let's see here. Live stream link onto X. So I'm using Restream, and I am simultaneously on YouTube, Twitch, and X, the platform. I have some kind of subscription allowing 3 places. Usually my audience is on X. That's why it was important to be able to connect that one. But I'm happy for you wherever you are, and happy to get to know more communities as well. So warm welcome to my stream. We are about to start. I have shared a couple of links. Maybe I should retweet the fact that I'm streaming, and we're good to go. This is another week of me having the little kitty cat at home, so let's see how much trouble she'll cause. She got bitten by a snake last week. She's doing fine. She's amazing. I'm so happy, but she's also not enjoying indoors life. Okay, let's see here. What should come join me? Question mark. Old school smiley. Here we go. Well, it is. I think it's important to use your authentic voice, but apparently my authentic voice in social media is it's questionable. All right, let's dive in. So a few things has happened. About to polish the parts that are done because they're not exactly done. They're not to my liking yet, but they will be. I'm just going to add some sweet details so that I can feel better about the look, the overall look. Coming weeks, I have art drops that are coming out, which will be like snippets of this city. I decided to work more organically. Let's see if it's a good decision or a terrible decision. We'll find out together. But yeah, I want to go with the flow for a while. I've done a lot of stuff that did a lot of my time, and I'm delivering on multiple little deadlines right now. So I needed to free up my time, go with the flow on my weekly drops. We have a burn game coming up. What is a burn game, to ask? It's when you turn in your digital collectibles and you get like something out of your teeny tiny collectibles. So yeah, that's the gist of it, I suppose. And I hope I can do this in October. I've started a little software. It might be like a couple of events, because you will turn your artworks and get a key, and then you collect a couple of keys and they will unlock something cool. Being so what should we call it? I'm a little bit secretive here, but sometimes overshare what is about to come, which is sometimes good, sometimes it's annoying because people want to enjoy a few surprises as well. But there will be a lot of worlds coming. So I feel like creating worlds is the stuff that I'm actually good at. So, and it's also very appreciated. So it doesn't make sense to hold back on that one. And with that said, I love drawing people. So if you want to be drawn, just write me a little comment and I'm happy to draw you. We have a couple of guests that I drew the other day. Was it a week or two ago? I did these wrestlers seen here. They're so great. I really love them. And there's a little sushi guy. He should be added as well. So we must not forget him. And there's a little house here as well. But it's covered up. So I'm going to turn on the sketch in a bit. Just wanted to make the waterfall more waterfally, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're getting somewhere, but it is now time to turn off the layers of the stuff I did. Ooh, it's gone. Okay, here's the sketch. So you can see there's an entire cat house missing. So we're gonna do that. I also need to borrow the line art from something. Let's see. We have a beautiful house there. Let me click the line art here. Using the wrong tool here. What? There we go. Sorry. And then I'm going to turn on the white. So I'm doing here. And we should probably jump straight into the little corner here that is missing. So, oh, I forgot to open the chat as well. It is good when you invite people to actually put the chat up. So we have 4 friends watching from X. Good morning. Hope you are well. I don't know if it's evening, day, or morning, but this is my morning coffee. I bought a milk that has some spice in it. It's called pumpkin spice. I hear it's very popular with a certain group of people. I don't know if I'm part of that group of people, but it's kind of yummy. I like spices, and it's not sugary. It's just the spices. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to it. I'm gonna this cat house. I'm gonna try to make it look more like an actual. Wow, I didn't mean to make it a white layer. Sorry, I need to go pick up the line art again. Where's the house? There we go. That's better. Thank you. We have our layer. It is time to start working. It is Monday. I am a little bit slow because I was going to say I didn't draw this weekend. That's not true. I was drawing on the other stuff that I can't show you. But I didn't draw a lot. I'm trying to reclaim my weekends, sort of, and maybe just put a couple of hours in if needed. And usually when I do that, it's to take it a little bit more easy in my weekdays because they are crazy busy right now. So I'm kind of trying to even out my work days. I do put a lot of effort into these cities and the little treats, but it's fun. Something I haven't done, which I really need to do, is to reach out to that gallery. I was supposed to do it, that didn't happen, and now September is slipping out of my hands. But I wanted to do like a nice presentation of my work, so But I'm thinking a PDF will do, and if they want to, I'll send them a zine as well. I made these handmade reso printed zines that I hand drew. Do you say drew? I've always said drew, but I'm not even sure if that's how you draw, properly. Sometimes the most common words slip my mind. So yeah, I'm Swedish. Am I allowed to have poor grammar? But please correct me. I don't like talking like a child. I'm fluent in Swedish. I have my own way of speaking. I would like to use that in real life as well. So yeah, I have an email to write, and I should probably, really put some time and effort into it soon. Very soon would be nice. Oh, look at that. We have brick cat ears. Let's group them. Makes it all easier. And then we have the moon theme. This is the Moon Royal floating island. And we are going overboard with the moons. So if you're like, that's a lot of moons, I know, it's the point. It's supposed to be over the top. Because, I mean, in a world of immaculate and well thought out things, I think it's nice to have a bit of bananas on the side, to be honest. Okay, so we're gonna do a face that is also us, but I want it a little bit more angular so that we can actually kind of interpret this as, it is a house, it's just shaped as a cat, if that makes sense. Let's see if I can do it in the house cat, very organic. It does look oversized cat with brick ears. So I'm trying to be clever. Well, that's a bit of an angle, isn't it? And then I would add a few things that I didn't add before. So I would add some angles here as well. And here on this, whoops, such a bendy line. A bit of bendy is fine because I have a doodle style. So sometimes intentional, believe it or not, a certain vibe. But yeah, wait, these are like towers, so they could be a bit rounded, right? There we go. Oh, I think I'm gonna put like a little brick, a cat with bangs. That's what we're getting. But yeah, I think it's gonna look nicer this way. Maybe, we'll see. We can always change back, right? But yeah, I think one must allow a bit of creative freedom here. And when I say a bit, I mean a ton, because I make things upon request. And I also make things simply on a whim. It is very serendipitous work. It's not that strange from with ink that I used to do. That was also working with serendipity, and apparently that suits me quite well. But this is just a different media, different take, and it's faster. And I felt like I needed a bit more fun in my life, so this is like I feel this is something I do for me as an art project, but it turned out other people enjoyed it. So yay, that's good. Whoops, there we go. How are your morning or day? I hope you're doing well. I'm actually starting to wake up finally. I was super slow this morning. I watched a lot of news, which is always a downer. I feel like sometimes I just want to watch the news anyway, even though I know the news are mostly depressing. Okay, so this is totally now a house shape. I'm pleased. Let's do the spine. I'm figuring out the what do we call it? I feel like an architect. Architect? Is that how you say it? Kind of figuring out all the angles, and if you were to build a cat house, how would you go about creating a spine, etc. It's definitely on my list on things I did not expect to do in my 40s, drawing cat houses and live streaming. Oh my god. I did actually in my youth, when I was in my 20s something, I did have good use of my YouTube channel. But those videos, you had some time to edit and cut out all the babble if you felt like, oh my god, I I said that wrong, or I overdid this, or I should probably add a bit of this. You could do it. This is more unforgiving, but in a way it suits me because I wouldn't have time to sit and edit videos. That's why I stopped making them. At some point I was like, I don't have time. And that's sad because you want to have time. Okay, I just realized that this part is actually not part of the roof, it's part of the building. But I want it a slightly darker because it is some shade in there. Okay, maybe something like this. And then we could even put like a little window here to really emphasize this, that this is part of the house. There we go. Looking okay, I think. And let's do the tiles. The roof tiles. It is a bit old school, but where I live, everyone uses tiles, and I think they're really cute to draw, and they give like a homey vibe. And I think I've said the last few live streaming sessions now that I would love to do something sleek at some point that doesn't have this rustic, homey vibe, because we've had a lot of that. But I guess I needed it. So, in a way, you don't have to fight it. Sometimes you just embrace it, roll in it, and then you get tired of it and you move on. So that's fine. Let's see if anyone has any questions. 9 people watching. Good morning. Happy to have you here. We have 1 watching on Twitch. Warm welcome. And 8 people watching on X. Let's see here. I'm drawing the buildings and we're moving forward with the floating island of Moon Royal. I name all my places and they all come with a certain theme. But for this one, I kept the theme. It's more about nostalgia and fantasy and celebrating fairy tales. So it doesn't have like a super deep meaning. It's also different in a way that I usually shy away from status and, differing between high and low in my cities because I just don't believe in it on a fundamental. But for this chapter, honoring like the movies I grew up watching with like princes and princesses and dragons and fantasy, like high fantasy and probably low fantasy and Xena the warrior princess and whatever you had coming at you in the 90s. I felt like this place benefited from like a fantasy queen and her kingdom, because why not? You know, it is it's all a fantasy anyway. Hello, kitty cat. I see you. I see you, and soon I think everyone. There she goes. I don't know if you can see her. My sweet little kitty cat. I was so worried for her the other day when she got bitten. Felt so sorry for her, and she was not happy this Thursday. But it just like 24 after, she was doing great, and that was such a relief. Okay, pause. So I guess the pause could be like side buildings or like shed. I don't know. How do we keep the room and building feel? Starting to become robot cat here. That's not the intention either. Well, it is hard. I think maybe something like this. And then I hope we can sort of accept this look. Now I had a lost opportunity here that I'm reclaiming. So if this is a house, that means that you can actually stay at the end of the tale as well. Imagine, having this room. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? So let's capture that. And do like some windows and stuff. Someone can watch the fighters from that little window. See, that's fun. Good, good, good. All right. And then with that last little paw. What happens in this corner? I think we're just going to do something like this. It's going to be like a strangely shaped room. And we should probably follow. If I was an architect, I would like follow the natural lines occurring. So we'll do like slightly rounded windows. Perhaps this window should have like more of an arch feel too. Some rounded shapes. That's right. She's like, come on, keeping me here. But I read somewhere that you're supposed to have them indoors for a while after, just to kind of stuff. It makes sense. So she will have to be in for a bit longer. And then we have another issue coming up, and that is every fall we have a pack of wolves stopping by, and they're like on the streets where I live, basically. Like they're super close, and it's sad, but they're they're this close because they have nowhere else to go. There's so much forest being chopped down, so they have like no place to stay. So you can't blame the wolves. It's not like, I don't know, it's not like they're more wolves. It's just that suddenly they're in my backyard because there's no place to go. People are moving closer and closer to nature, reclaiming, not reclaiming, they're claiming the nature. And it's problematic because at some point we need to draw some kind of line. Like, if we're going to have wild animals, we should probably stay off there. Well, but people also need places to live. So I don't know, but we're not doing it right because they're not supposed to walk among people like this. And I'm not really afraid of them, but I have two kids that take the bus from school. So, sorry. Need coffee. Look at my my voice. I got like a wish voice. Welcome to the scary version of live drawing. A croaking crone. But yeah, it's scary for the kids. I don't want them to be upset facing a wolf on their own. And there was a child on a bike who recorded a wolf passing by her, and she was literally like on the street next to where we were. But she was standing there, and luckily the wolf didn't approach her. He just passed by like he was an ordinary dog walking himself. Wolves, when they're healthy, they're no murdering machines. They don't care. Like, we're not their natural prey, but it's because kids are small, and if, like, you never know, they're wild out. That's right. And cats are just a snack to them. Yes, it'd be a snack. I'm talking to my cat. I don't know if you can hear her. So I keep her indoors. 9 people listening to me, drawing, and telling my cat she's a wolf snack. Thank you for humoring me and joining me today. I appreciate you. The cat, however, is bored out of her. That's right. I see you. Hey. Yeah. It's not her favorite part when I'm just sitting here. That's just boring for her. She loves when I start cleaning somewhere and she can jump all over the place. But yeah. I need to make them smaller because I also have a door here. And right now the door is just There's no room. I think that's better. It's like the not amused cat, but we needed a door. So I'm sorry, you're not looking happy. Okay, I need a woodsy color. There you go. I mean, it is a house. We have sort of a house going on here now. And then I did a certain window design, a little bit vaguely based on Ägishjälmur, which is a protective galder or like rune magic from Iceland, I suppose, or like the old Nordic, like this is magic. Also, the same kind of tattoo that a singer called Björk, or Björk if you're American. She has it on her arm as well, but it's not like a new design. It's very old. It was used for protection. So I was thinking cat house, why not? They look nice as, you know, cast iron window ornaments. Oops, as well. Ancient history. I mean, it was probably 2,000 years ago. Was it? Wait, I need to think. When did we have Viking Age? I think it started a little bit before Christ and ended sometime after. If I'm not, it was a long since I went to school. I will probably learn this again next time my kids with their homework. It's nice bring up your skills. I mean, this is fitting. Like you can just the one, and it will look kind of like cat eyes. They have like lit in the eye sometimes. Depends on their mood or if they're hunting or whatever. Sometimes cats' eyes can get really round. I mean, I forgot something. Usually there are more of these. Should I do all of them? Should we make proper Ägishjälmur? Let's try it. I don't know why, but the protective rune is built from a bunch of R runes. So just to give you a little history lesson, the R rune is like this. So you can probably see like the top of it is, they just kind of made it rounder to fit a circle. So they put it like in the circle, yeah. That's why we have these, like the, I don't even know the word. The one the king Poseidon has in his hand that has like three, like a. Anyway, it must be annoying just listening to me not finding my words here. Moving on away from the letter R and stuff. I mean, it looked kind of nice with all of these as well. So now this is a protected house. Kitty cat. Hey, don't. She's looking at the cord. No, it's not something for you to play with. Hey, Lily. Yeah, she pretends she's a good kitty, just sitting here grooming herself. But we all knew she tried to gnaw on my cord here. Let's see. We could do like the teeny. It's nice with matching windows, so we can just do like these and do we have everything? I think so. Now that's a nice kitty house. All right, let's make the sushi. I'm just gonna turn on the layer with the wrestlers. Where are you? Where are my wrestlers? There they are. Oh, this house needs to go below them, but okay. We're gonna fix that soon. I'm just gonna pick the line width, make sure that, and then we're gonna do little sushi robot, which is a super cool character, and I cannot take her coming up with this one. It is one of my followers and buddies, Pixel Sushi Robot. I think it's just a great idea. It just makes it a super fun character, you know? Let's see if we can make this look like rice. And then it zoom out as well. That's my, like, that's the most difficult things. Like, it's easy to add a lot of details, but it needs to be like just enough details. And this is looking a little bit furry, I realized after doing the second sushi. Rice is slightly rounded, so let me give it another go. Maybe some of that. And then we hide you for a second. Some details. I think I need to go a little bit thin on the lines here. So if you ever wanted to be drawn, there are no rules how to be drawn, just so you know. Anyone can jump in, and it doesn't have to fit the theme. Important note, it's supposed to be diverse and, you know, it's supposed to be sorry for spacing out, just need to pick up this line here. Yeah, it's supposed to be a bit quirky. But if you want to fit the theme, if you want to be like a fantasy creature, that's totally fine. I was drawing someone as a dragon the other day. It's also fine if you have any questions. I have time to babble, so all good. And then we're going to do the wheel. Here we go. Oops. So this is the seaweed. I don't remember the proper word for it, but I'm sure there is one. But it's kind of the tire. There we go. Getting somewhere. Maybe we should group these together now. There we go. And then we're going to do the shirt. So because this is called Pixel Sushi Robot, I just made a pixel as a shirt graphic. I hope it makes sense. There we go. And we're going to do those little robotic arms while we're at it. I don't know if you've noticed, but I only use line thicknesses. So one is like the main line art, which is a bit thicker, so that everything is more visible to you. At least that's the reason. And then I have the thinner line art, which is for details that otherwise disappear in the thicker line art. So hopefully this makes sense. I might experiment with doing a slightly thinner line art. Like my first city that I made, line art was very fine. And looking back at it, I thought it was a little bit too fine. But yeah, you gotta experiment. You gotta figure things out. And eventually, you know. Oops, I was in the wrong layer. Didn't stick. He's holding a ticket. If you're wondering what's in his hand, I imagined it to be a ticket to the wrestling show. I don't know if it makes any sense. It's like a little side story. And I enjoy coming up with little side stories. No one will be able to read this, but I'm going to write ticket. And if it works, blows up into a huge size on an art show, people will be able to read this too, and I'll be happy. I made all these little details, but that's not why I draw them. I draw them because it just fits. It's what I want to do. More is more in these worlds. It says Tike, but his hand is covering the rest. Okay, something is missing though, and do you know what that is? It's the bit in here, inside one of these. No, what happened? And when we zoom out, hopefully it looks kind of yummy. I feel like this part should be a different color. Maybe it's salmon colored. Maybe. Time to group Pixel Sushi Robot. And I want to put him maybe he was a little bit big for the door, and the other cat made him a little bit smaller. But this one looks like a frown. So let's make it look more like, there we go. Looks a little bit happy. It still looks a bit fierce, but that's fine. Okay. Let's see here. We need to put the house. I'm going to turn on all the other layers, and look, we cannot have the cat house on top of the wrestlers. Let's put here, and little Pixel Sushi Robot goes on top of it. There we go, behind. And okay, so maybe that's why I put him higher. Let's see here. Yeah, maybe that's okay. Now we have some space. It doesn't look like he's rolling on top of the rat fighting his opponent here. Oh, look at the house. This cover. Okay, I'm gonna back it up a little bit. I feel like the house is a bit tiny. So some of the characters here. This is a good thing. Like, you can do anything. Oh, aren't you grouped, darling? Let me group you. Whoop. There we go. Did I catch your body's shoes? No, I think she's now properly grouped. Good. Okay, so we can move the characters a bit. I want to make this house bigger because it just does not so tiny. And we want to see the window. We want people to be able to go inside. I think this is more appropriate There we go. Where should she? She could be even here, maybe, or she could be standing here side glassing the game. I don't know. I'm just going to put them here for now. So yeah. Oh, I forgot something. Cat house here, good. We're gonna do some details on the door. Will this area, I wonder? This is a traditional way of doing woods on Swedish doors when they're a bit fancy and old. It might look like a terrible mouth of this cat, or it might look cool. It's not that bad. Cool. And we also need a door handle. We could do like a old school metallic. We have a metallic color here on Pixel Sushi Robot. They're not actually gray, like nothing, not even the black is actual black. It's a dark green that we kind of interpret as black. So I don't really use, the colors are not what it seems like, but they set a mood, don't they? We could even do these kind of door knockers, but we need a thinner line art for them, I think. There we go. That's fine. Okay. Starting to look cute here. Let's lock those layers and hide them, and let's see what we got. I should probably also check. Oh, Julie's here. Hello, Julie. Nice seeing you here. Warm welcome. Julie, if you want to be drawn, just let me know, okay? I'm happy to draw anyone visiting. And we have one Twitch follower here, and we have 14 X followers here. So we can definitely establish that most of my audience find me through X, which is something that I would never have guessed like 3 or 4 years ago. But there we are. That's what's happening. Okay, I need to pick some line art here. Where is my building? There you are. So we're gonna steal the line width, and then we're gonna move to this place. I haven't done a very important person here, the Moon Knight. I feel like I want to do his building first because yeah, it's a special building. He's one of the highlighted characters in this art drop. But yeah, I'm happy to take a little pause while I'm doing these tents and stuff, because this is something that I can do on my own. So I always let the audience jump in. You have like the first priority for me in terms of when I'm drawing live, you know. It's more important to get you to fit in than to draw a tent that I can do, you know, in my evening or whenever. Oops. I'm also looking forward to draw. I'm just going to find the golden color somewhere. There it is. I'm always also looking forward to draw this statue. It's just such a brilliant move. I didn't come up with this. This was one of our viewers that said that, you know, there could be like an hourglass, but it's like instead of sand, it's love, and it never ends. You just turn it and it just keeps going. And I thought that was really lovely, so we interpreted that. So sometimes the suggestions aren't even characters, it is things that are just what makes a city, right? Something about being able to do a collaboration with the world is just so cool. And I couldn't do it without you. And even here, keeping me company while I'm starting my workday, I think that is just so sweet and kind. And I love that. So thank you kindly. This is something that I just can't take for granted. There's like when you think about it, and I think that's the harsh artist, you really don't matter until other people see you in a super sad way. Like so many amazing artists that just aren't available to the world is probably a good expression. Like they have no interest in opening up their studio to let other people in. The exact reason, I think sometimes it's about, the respecting the process of working. Like they have a very secluded way of working, which I respect. I understand it in times of, my own life. I've experienced the same need. But I'm so happy that, oops, that was a bit too early. I'm so happy personally that I don't have that need right now. And that I also realized that working and creating can be a lot of things and look in a lot of ways. It doesn't have to be this specific way or you're not doing it right. Like that confidence I didn't gain until I was, I don't know, 35 or 40 or something. I was way too old to realize that there is no certain way of doing something. It's more about what suits you, right? And that's how I ended up with you guys. I wanted to have a conversation with the world because the world has always been important to me in many ways. And bringing them in. And maybe because I come from a small town where everything is, very, maybe isolated is the wrong word for it, but I'm going to pick that word. At times I've been working very isolated. It was starting to get to me in a bad way. So I decided to free myself and just come here and do my thing. And lo and behold, it's not like a booming success, but it's working, you guys. It actually works a little bit. So yay. 15 people watching. Hello. Warm welcome. We went from, how many were we initially? A couple, a handful. And it seems like the longer I go, the more people can find me. And it's frustrating at times because Usually my steam runs out pretty fast because I do so many things in my workday. And that is frustrating because I want to draw. I want to be available for a long time. But so I have so much on my schedule. But guess what? I was working on a Sunday so that we could enjoy ourselves this week. So I already uploaded my drops to Drip. So this week's deadlines are done, and now I only have to finalize the burn game treats and keep working on this and kind of start to build up on stuff that comes next. Let's see here. Well, we didn't have a background, but I think maybe we need background color on these letters. Let's try this subtle but still there. Let's see if I can squeeze everything in. This was very wordy of me to write this on a narrow flag. Oops. I was actually a little bit afraid initially to live stream because of my age, which I know it's silly. I know that you don't care. I always give the people around me not enough credit. Sometimes I think, oh, they won't understand this and yada, yada. I'm always wrong, and I'm so happy to be wrong. But yeah, I thought that you would have to be pretty and stuff and young and energetic. But then I said to myself, you got to try this. Go in there as the troll under the bridge or whatever vibe we're having this morning. And it's just so nice to be able to just be yourself. I think that's why how you kind of keep at it. If I were to dress up, put on makeup, and behave like I'm heading into something important, like a big conference or whatever, I don't know, every morning and every night when I'm live streaming, I'm not sure that I could keep it up because it takes a lot of energy. And when you have so much stuff to do, like this morning, I was folding clothes just 2 seconds before jumping in here. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I just woke up, brought my coffee, had sent the kids to school, and then I came here. And that's fine. Well, this didn't match up very well, did it? Let's move you a little bit, darlings. I hope people read us and not US. I was worried, but you and me equals us. It's, yeah. It's supposed to be global, not just, well, you get it. It is fine. We're connecting those little things. We're gonna do the stuff here. I'm quite fond of the little designs I did, so let's see if I can do it. I'm going to check the chat in a little bit. So if you want to be drawn, this is your golden opportunity without any pressure. I will be nice. I'll draw you as good as I can. And there's no right or wrong way to do it, just so you know. No pressure. But I've also realized that people following me are busy people. So I can't do it. It's just, it's the art itself is better when you guys are with me. For some reason, I think it just adds true diversity. You think of stuff that I could never. So I don't want these to be an elaborate story about myself. I've had those opportunities. I've done cities that are like, hello, this is my diary. And I will probably do those cities again sometime. But right now, I don't feel like I have the need to, for stuff to be about me. I'm happy to bring you guys on board. Guys and gals. Did you know that even though I have a project called City of Girls, most of my following are guys? On X, at least, which is a very big place. But I'm super happy for the... why did I make it like this? Sorry, I'm just going to fix this one. Yeah, I'm super happy for everyone. This is not meant to be a divider of people, more a uniter. But as I wanted to honor my grandmothers and my mother, and you know, I came from a different angle and a different kind of life where I felt like, oh my god, island work, I see it, yada yada. And that's how we started. But now I mostly use the version C.O.G to describe City of Girls. Sorry about my voice, you guys. So yeah, it's about the rest of us, you know, the people who aren't necessarily famous or aspire to be famous, but we still do a good job in being human and being like a world citizen, to do good as good as we can, sort of. That's the gist of it. I feel like celebrities and stuff, they get celebrated all the time for the good stuff they do, and they do like these big things, like bring cash, you know, when there's a natural disaster, they can cough up the money and really make a difference. But as a society, when you zoom out, like taking care of family and kids and our neighbors and teaching and being a nurse and regular people, we are the society, the backbone, skeleton, something. Yeah, it's good stuff, and I feel like I wanted to celebrated that, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna group these. Let's see here. Where's my... Didn't I do the tent thingies as we put them? What is it? Okay. I'm gonna group these. Now we have this part. Good. Then I need to work in this layer and turn off this one because we're gonna do the tassel. The stuff flowing in the wind. if you ever think that's a lot of details, that makes me happy. Because I realized one thing that brings me joy is to trying to breathe life into and personality into the cities I make. And to do that, I wanted to work fast, but the irony is that I just need to work very fast because I keep making these details. But I think they bring up the quality of the work, like they really, really contribute. So you cannot be without them. But that's why I work digitally right now. It is quite fast to do traditional line drawing cities as well, but they are terrible to send out to people. Like to deal with a lot of physical work is a nightmare for me. Office, I hate sending things, and I don't mean it like in an aggressive way. It's just very, very stressful. So I try to avoid it like the plague, but occasionally, 1 or 2 times a year, I will send something to someone. But I'm so happy, especially when, I mean, there's one little trouble, and that is when you work with galleries, you need to send them the entire body of work, usually traditional, and that's always a hassle. But once, oh, the joy. They will take care of everything from there. And that just makes me so happy. That's why I think traditional galleries aren't that bad. And I understand why they take a percentage. Like if they're a good gallery, they're worth it. And the stress is real when you're sending stuff out, because it's a matter of packing it, making sure no one jumps on it, which you cannot control. I used to put a lot of effort into sending stuff, but one time a painting arrived, crashed the glass. I'm never sending something with glass again, but I had a super pretty frame. I had a very expensive glass fitted to it. I packed everything very, very, very properly, but it still got smashed. So yeah, you need to put a lot of money and effort into sending it safely, and it's just nice to be able to work digitally and to be able to use services that make these amazing prints on a place that makes beautiful museum quality prints, and the colors are just mwah, chef's kiss. It's just, and when you find places like onto them, it's amazing. They will change your life. Okay, this is, yeah, it's looking okay, I guess. Time to group these little towers, them, and do the tent thingies. I was inspired by of Lawrence in Arabia when I made the Moon Knight. So he's built an homage to that old movie. I used to have a huge crush on Omar Sharif. I don't know why. I just thought amazingly handsome. And funny side note, my husband kind of looks like him. So I never outgrew it. He's like, yeah, I think he fits the bill, kind of. So yeah, I have that. Omar Sharif in his 30s or whatever age he was in the 70s or when they made that movie. That vibe. But I'm like a chibi version of him for this city. So yeah, you will not be impressed when I show him. what it looks like in my sketch. Prepare to be underwhelmed. I'm going to show him to you. Do, 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 do. Curious. But you can see the little stash. And something about his little square face, and I don't know. He's just cute. Too much information. I apologize. There we go. Let's group you and put you under there. And then we're going to do this part. Layers are so important when you're working in Illustrator. I think I've said it before, but it's worth saying again. What goes up, below, underneath, and thinking of that as you plan which part to draw next really, really helps you shorten down the troubles further down the road. So yeah, strongly recommend you start thinking in layers if you're new to Illustrator and want to try it. It is an amazing tool. It's beautiful. It is a good way to future-proof your work. You can blow them up at any size, draw in Illustrator. That's the reason why I use it so much. But it's also just pain and trouble until you figure it out, how to work with it from Photoshop. And it was just terrible when I first started out. But that was in 2002, or I started learning Illustrator. And that program was known for crashing on you. So good luck if you had worked for a good 5 minutes and gotten a lot of lines in. It would just crash and it would be, and you would have to do it again. So many inside. It's better now, so much better. But yeah, I used to hate Illustrator. Actually, it was my nemesis. But then I worked for a game company in 2009 and we only used Illustrator. So I quickly learned the, a couple of helpful shortcuts that I use to this day. And I also got some friends there. So that was nice. Sometimes I jump in and freelance, but I'm working solo and not in-house a majority of the time. But I jumped in there. I was there for 2 years. And then I worked almost 2 years at a company doing completely different things. I was a senior designer doing mostly items and placing them on stuff, talking to engineers and people working in the factory, making sure stuff were sitting where they were needed. It wasn't the most fun work, but it paid very well, so we could build a house. So that was nice. But then kit and everything changed, and I realized that it's time to decide what to do next. Will I keep offering my services to, companies, or will I try to be an artist again? That was the question. And I decided to give it a proper go in my own way and see if it would be something that I could still do, because I wasn't even sure. And I'm so happy I did. Financially, not so much, but spiritually, sophisticated. And sometimes it's okay to have a humble life and, you know, a little bit of financial toughness, because you kind of live your life. Sounded very privileged, I know, but I was afraid I would get like sick. So it wasn't just, it was more a necessity because my life was so stressful and that global was no good. They used to scream at people. You would think they were sophisticated, but they were barbarians, honestly. So my experience from working with other people are not well. They're not mentally well. They're not happy. And they feel to put all their stress on the people working beneath them, so to speak. Hierarchy, oh my god. Don't even get me started. It's just ridiculous. And it's always like that, that the actual getting into, getting a gig, they put so much time into the hiring process. Once you're there, they don't even care what you know. They're like, dance, little monkey. And if you were to say, like, I think this color, I think this will be more clear, they're like, no. And they're not designers, the people saying that. They're just the mini bosses that want to push their own agenda. So they're like, because of all your skills that we will never use, we will never we will never ask you to do anything. You're just going to be a copying machine for us. Dance, little monkey. That's my experience of working for other people. I don't know about your experience. I hope it was better. 16 people listening to my my ranting. This is experience of working for others. Hasn't been great, you guys. Been better. But sometimes you just need it and you do it. I'm just sad that everyone seemed to have watched The Devil Wears Prada and they think that's how the professional life looks like. When in fact, people who never were like that, who were the most, they would never ever behave like that. So it's like the people who can't do it, they will play some kind of, I don't know, I feel like they were on most days just playing the part of the whatever we're gonna call. It could differ. And there were designers that would behave a little bit like this as well. But yeah, very seldom have I met very professional people who had this kind of devil wears Prada attitude. They don't need to. They can be friendly and professional. So yeah, not a fan of places like that. Hope I never get to experience it again. Okay, let's see. We're gonna group this entire place somewhere. Okay, time to do like the main structure here. Don't worry, we're gonna do the stuff on top later. I'm so happy my little kitty cat has taken a nap next to me. Now it's just cozy. I wish it was always like this. I got a cat again. I hadn't had a cat since I lived with my parents. And when we moved here, it was just, close to nature, very, very good. And we could have a pet. And I thought, let's get a cat. It's going to be wonderful. I forgot that they are they are a menace and they will get in trouble all the time. But she's also the best. Love her so much. And she makes me worry so much. But she doesn't care. Where's my... So it's the line art here. Wrong line art. Can I choose you? Yes. Okay, perfect. There's no regrets, and I'm sure over time she's kind of in her teenage years now. She's growing up. She's and she's a wonderful companion. But she's also easily bored. And me having a job where I sit on my butt and I draw many, many hours a day, I realize that I am not great company. I am, in fact, a very boring company. And I wanted to get like an old lady cat or old man cat, but they didn't allow you to have children because many of the loved animals in shelters and stuff, they're not fit for children in the house. So in the end, I found out there was this cat that was getting picked up by her owner. So a kitten that needed a new place to live. And I found out one day, and the next day she came home with us. So that's the story how I got this cat. It was a bit on a whim. My children really, really wanted to have a cat as well and was looking forward to it. And we only had a kitten available in our... Well, I think if I had had the time to do plenty of research, I would have found my old cat. Probably. Like, there are always these cats needing new places, but I did try to find someone who needed to be rescued, but we weren't because of our family situation. I don't know if it's like that in other parts of the world. I thought that people would be happy. You want to, bring in a cat. And I do have cat experience, and my kids are very, very kind and sweet. And they love animals and they respect them. And they were enough not to pull the tail accidentally or something. Like they were in their... But no, they were very firm. And I guess maybe it was just at that place they had these rules, but I did 2 different places and they all were like, yeah, this cat needs to go to a solo human living by themselves. And it should not be outdoors, was something that many people said as well. And I get it if you live like in a busy environment. But we live on the countryside. And I wanted a cat that was allowed to go out. 17 people listening to me talking about that. I apologize. I went on a bit of a tangent there. Okay, let's see here. I did that. I need to add some details. It all started because I said, look, she's behaving, she's just resting peacefully. this stuff never happened. That's how we got there, sorry. But let's enjoy this moment of peace. Let's see here. All right. We have the stairs. If there's anything in particular that you guys want me to talk about, feel free to make any recommendations. I'm just hanging out with you guys now. So, to suggestions, and I'm happy to talk about whatever you want to hear about. So don't feel like you can't say anything just because you're sitting here yapping about, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just hanging out. Yesterday we had, I don't know what you call it. Is it equinox? No, I'm not sure. It's when the day and night are equally long. So we have it in midsummer when the days are getting longer, and we have summer, and some parts of Sweden even have midnight sun. Not my part. It's just that we have like a dusky sort of bluish color at night. It's not completely pitch dark in the summers. So it's very, very nice. And the sun goes up at, I don't know, 3 or 4. So we have plenty of light in the summer, having midnight sun. But I was going to say that now worse. So I remember last winter, as I was picking up my kids around 2 in the afternoon from school, it was pitch dark. We had to wear these reflective gear. The cars can see you when you walk outside, and it's just that time, of the year again, when we need to buckle up and say, winter is coming, darkness is here. But when we say darkness is here, I'm not sure people know exactly how dark it is, and how it's dark when you get up in the morning, and then it's dark. You can get like a little dusky light midday again. So yeah. But there's one good thing about it, and that is that I'm always more creative. Like in the summertime, the weather is just beautiful. We're not used to it. We want to frolic. We want to be free. So yeah, I think there are some nice things that comes with the darkness as well, I suppose. Trying to keep it optimistic. But there's also a real depression and stuff like that. That stuff is real. So hopefully there will be none of that this season, but I don't know. You gotta do your best. I'm thinking these little wooden things could look a little bit like unicorn horns, just because it's nice. See if it looks good. I'm thinking it would be easier to tie these ropes around something that was kind of like a unicorn horn as well. So I think it kind of fits my imaginary logic here. Did I make that edge round? I didn't. Let's do it. I think it looks nice. Doop. And yeah, let's see. I don't think I had done this little thingy here either. Let's see. There we go. Need to pull down the green a little bit. I overdid it. The edge should go somewhere around here. Whoops. No. What did I do? What's going on here? Double line art. You can go here. What's this? This isn't supposed to be visible there, so this needs to go on a bottom layer, probably. Well, can put... No. Oh, it's this part. Gotcha. Okay, so what if I put this color on top of this line art? What happens? Will I mess it up completely? Who knows? Nah, we're good. No, wait. What happened to... I needed to pick the actual... I needed both of these to join me. Probably this edge as well. Okay, gonna do something risky and paste it on top here. What happened next? Do we have the stairs? Okay, it worked out. Nice. I don't know if you followed what happened there, but sometimes I accidentally put stuff in the wrong layer and you can see stuff sticking out and it's annoying. Like, it's a small detail, but you can see part of the yellow inside of them that it should be behind things. So we have like, let's just move it up. Away you go. Thank you. And we have this one. It's just doesn't have to be there. Okay. There we go. Whoops. What happens here? A little speed bump. And this corner should right. next there. I try to be a little bit careful with the details, even though it's, the city itself is very zoomed out. Because if I'm not, and then at one point I will blow it up and make this a bigger paint. All of my little mistakes are going to be very visible, and that will stress me out. So I try to be good. Okay, so we have a cat house. We have this tent. Where's my? I haven't done the prince yet. But we can add him later. And yeah, we're getting somewhere. But I think I'm about to wrap it up now. Actually, I've been here for not exactly 2 hours, but well over an hour and a half. We have 18 people watching. Thank you so much. Makes me very happy. We have one watcher on YouTube. Mwah. Thank you for watching. We have one watcher on Twitch. Mwah. Thank you. Hope it's not creepy that I'm doing blowing kisses. It's an appreciation thing, not a creepy old lady thing. And 16 people on X. Thank you so much. Very happy you chose to join me today. Feel free to jump in tonight if you're awake. About 11, 12 hours from, I'll probably pop in. And yeah, I'll keep drawing on this floating island. The goal is to finish it by September before it ends, and then the beginning of October will be like the presenting of the island and moving on to the next thing. The work name for the next thing is Secrets, but it does have a name, Fleeting Moments. And Fleeting Moments will embody a lot of things, and I'll tell you more about it, some other time. So that's it for me now. Thank you for watching. This was wonderful. I can zoom in a little bit on the city so far, or floating island. I don't know what to call it. It's both. And yeah, next time I draw, if you want to see yourself in there, feel free to jump in. Come join me. I'm happy to draw